second part of a four-part educational module on developmental coordination disorder. In this module, we will be talking about what it means to have DCD and how we can support the children with DCD. Before we discuss the challenges that children with developmental coordination have, I wanted to emphasize that these children also have many strengths and talents. A child may not be great at dancing, but may be great at singing and acting. They may not be great at team sports, but can be great at individual sports like tennis, swimming, or successful being a goalie in a soccer team. Recognizing these strengths is important, not only to build up their self-esteem, but also because we can use them when determining strategies to teach a child skills that they have difficulty completing. I had this patient who had difficulty coordinating both legs to jump up with both feet. He understood verbal commands and visual cues when each component of the jumping motion was broken down. However, he could not link the individual parts together to clear both feet off the ground. He loved music and singing. When we would sing the Hokey Pokey song, he got all the sequence of the steps correctly, so I substituted the lyrics with this. You bend both knees down, you straighten both legs up, you lift both feet up, and then you jump all around. Anyway, for him that strategy worked. He learned how to walk up the stairs using alternating feet and do other motor skills using the same strategy.
As a parent, how would I know my child has DCD?
Well, each child with DCD presents differently. The most common characteristic that they have is that they have motor coordination issues, whether it's of the use of their hands or the big muscles of their body. Parents seek help for their children either because they have noticed that their child has motor challenges at home, or because their child's teacher has reported that their child is having difficulty keeping up with tasks at school, or because someone has mentioned that their child is not keeping up with their peers.
So what do you do for kids with DCD?
Well, one of the things that all researchers and clinical experts agree with is that children with DCD should receive intervention. Most researchers agree that the most effective intervention strategy is a task-oriented approach. What this means is that functional skills are directly taught to a child. If the child's difficulty is with dressing or putting clothes on, then the child practices putting the clothes on until the skill is learned. The components of the skill is generally broken down into individual steps. They're practiced on its own, and then all the steps are linked together to be able to accomplish that one task. Then with practice and repetition, the motor skill can be successfully attained.
Let's take learning how to do jumping jacks for example. There are two positions needed for the jumping jack. Your body in the form of a letter I, and then in the form of a letter A. After teaching your child how to maintain the letter I with their arms and legs close to their body, and then maintain the letter A with their arms moving sideways and upwards with their feet apart, we link the I and A together slowly with verbal cues. I, A. I, A. Then we add the jumping part to it, and we go jump and I, jump and A, jump and I, jump and A, eventually removing verbal directions once they achieve the skill. Another example is learning skipping. There are several components that go into skipping. First is having enough balance to stand on each leg. Second is hopping more than once on each leg. Third is linking hopping on one leg, then hopping on the other leg. The skipping pattern requires a step and a hop or a double hop on each leg. Visual cues on the floor can make it easier to follow the pattern until a rhythm is established. Verbal cues like right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left can also help.
Your child's goals and your goals for your child is of utmost importance to the PT and OT. Their approach and strategies will support accomplishing these goals. Both PT and OT will implement task-oriented approaches, but because many children with DCD have low muscle tone, your therapists will incorporate activities that improve strength, balance, endurance, postural control, body awareness, and processing of various sensory input in support of your goals. Your PT and OT will provide you with home exercises, emphasizing the components of the task that need to be practiced on a regular basis with the goal of eventually linking the components together. Please keep in mind that learning or mastery of a skill occurs over time and across different environments, and your therapist will recommend carrying over the skills they've learned in the clinic to your home, school, and community. Always recognize and acknowledge your child's strengths and limitations. We do have cultural expectations which may not be consistent with a child's motor abilities. We naturally gear our children towards our areas of interest, whether it's sports or dance or something else. These can still be areas of common interest, but expecting proficiency and competitiveness may cause unnecessary stress. Our children easily feel our frustration, which can turn them off of the activity. Emphasize that you want your child to just try physical activities, and that if it gets too challenging, that you would be there to support them. Keep in mind that your child may not get it on the first try, but he will eventually get it. Observe where your child is getting stuck. This is where you can work with your PT or OT to determine how to break down the motor components of a task and how best to teach your child the skill. Ask for accommodations for your child at school if necessary. Asking for increased time when completing exams is a reasonable accommodation that all schools should be able to provide. And lastly, when choosing a physical activity for your child, always match their interest with their skill. Steer them towards an activity that is motivating and will provide them a sense of accomplishment. Always encourage your child to be physically active. It can be as simple as taking walks, pushing a shopping cart, or helping bring groceries in. Think about activities that encourages the use of the small or the big muscles of their body. Do an exercise DVD together. Go to the playground. Learn your child's interest and match their interest with an after-school program. Encourage individual sports like swimming, tennis, or taekwondo if team sports like soccer, basketball, and football are challenging.